ready to flow, let's dive deep with PiSeas Tarot.
Your business is my business. I see every ache, every kiss, the push, the pull, the silent cries. I'm exposing all the lies, revealing the hidden truth. With me, you have the proof. Your business is my business. True.
Welcome to PiSeas Tarot. True.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to PiSeas Tarot, everybody. I am your host. I am Lightseer, and over here, I've turned into today's segment of reality. This is a live, interactive space created to inform and empower. Over here is revealed, illusions are brought to the light, and you are supported through making conscious choices and decisions as you gain insight into the real dynamics between the person. Through the art of storytelling, I will be drawn on not only intuitive, psychic, but tarot card reading to develop insight and to explore the energy on the patterns shaping connection between a person. Okay, whether you're new, navigating love, questioning, or standing at the crossroads, this space is designed to bring you clarity, context, and direction. Okay, so now, I know that that's a lot that I'm saying, but just keep in mind that this is a collective reading. It may resonate with you in your current situation, a past connection, or a karmic dynamic that is unfolding before you right now. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Now, let's set the tone for the evening. If y'all are ready to get into this reading, I want you to put some snowflakes in the chat. If you are staying in a place where they're telling you it's about to be snowing and all of that stuff, put some snowflakes in the chat, because like, what in the world is this? Like, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. All right. So if you are going to be experiencing some inclement weather this weekend, put that weather emoji in the chat, because it's time for us to go ahead and get into y'all. All right. Now, y'all know what time it is. Time for us to set the tone. Now, before we dive deep, okay, it's important that we take a minute to ground ourselves into our energy. Grounding keeps us present and protected, and as we cleanse our energetic fields, we allow spirit to come through with clarity and to give us precision and purpose. All right, so if y'all ready to do this, we're going to do breaths in, hold it for 4 seconds. All right, and here. Ooh. Let's inhale light and wisdom. Let's exhale doubt and distractions. Exhale sadness and captivity. Let's inhale, exhale deception and fear. If y'all feeling lighter already, go ahead and put that exhale emoji, because baby, it is time for us to get into this thing. Let this be a gentle reminder that this space is sacred, but things are a little spicy sometimes too. So if spirit comes for your edges, just know, boo, you ain't alone. Ain't nobody judging you. Today's conversation is purely intended to draw awareness and not to cause judgment. So if you're ready to get into this, go ahead and put the cooking emoji, because baby, it is time for us to get into today's lesson and find out what is going on. If you're ready, go ahead and put those cooking emojis, because honey, about to go do this. Go. jump into any session, I always tap in with spirit to see what comes through. And sometimes it is a dream, a vision, or even a song that I cannot get out of my head. Now, today when I was thinking about like what messages spirit may want to say, spirit said run it back from last week. Now I know many of you may be wondering, what am I talking about? Well, a couple episodes ago, when I was having technical difficulties, I was in the thick of talking about something very important when I realized that my sound had went out, but that's a story. We're talking about intentions, motives, and agendas again, ladies. Okay? Attentions, motives, and agendas. Now, you might want to get your paper, pen, your notebook, emojis, whatever you got to get going, because this is going to get pretty deep. Okay? Now, a motive is the why, the underlying reason, need, or desire that gives a person a reason to act. That is called a motive. Think of motives, that's their reason for why. An intention is the what? An intention is the conscious, specific plan or purpose to achieve a desired outcome. An agenda is the how. It is the structure, plan, or the specific items or actions promoted to fulfill a motive. So you have the why, you have the what, and you have the how. Do y'all understand? Okay. Give me the thumbs up if you understand the difference between a motive and intention and agenda. Give me the thumbs up in the chat if you get it. Okay. Now, motives are the driving force behind why someone is doing what they are doing. Okay. It is defined by their inner compulsion, an emotional state, or the need behind the action. Okay. This is often abstract, physiological, and internal. Okay, so you can't see what somebody's motives are. All right, you can't see it. It's why they did what they did. Okay, it's their motivation internally from their soul. Okay, not their spirit, but their soul. Because remember, within your spirit, you have your thoughts, your feelings, and your emotions. Now, I know this may be way too much for somebody. Somebody probably like, listen, I just came for a reading. Hear me out. You are a spiritual being, have a soul, you live in a physical body. Okay. There are three elements to who you are. Your spirit is pure. Okay. Your spirit is fifth dimension. Your soul is all carnal. Okay. And it's kind of like, it's the fourth dimension because you can't see it, right? But it is impacted by things that occur in the third dimension, physical space of what you and I see right now. Everything you see, okay? Those are your motives. The intentions are conscientious, okay? Which are also in the fourth, and depending on what form of conscious we're talking about, can be the fifth dimension, because your intentions can, your consciousness can be your subconscious, it's your awareness, it's your third eye, right? Those supernatural consciousness, right? But then there's also an unconsciousness that, which is also a form of a conscious. Are y'all still with me? Give me the thumbs up if you're still making sense, okay? Someone's intentions is a decision to perform a specific action focusing on the desired result. This is surely conscientious, so they're choosing to make this decision. They're choosing this action that is often directed towards a future state, okay? This is what they want. So when you hear people say, I'm dating with intention, their future state is marriage or not. Okay, y'all hear me? All right. It is the context of this is what is their goal? What is your end game? That is your intention. Your agenda is the planned strategy. Okay, this is how people get caught up because agendas are conniving at times or they cannot, right? Depending on the purpose and the situation. But when we're talking about agendas, this is a structured plan or items or actions intended to be promoted or followed. This is often, but not always, hidden or organized towards a specific goal. And I did just say that. Sometimes it is conniving, okay, which is hidden. You can't see it. And then you have things that are intended to be promoted or followed. And it's what you're doing to get to the end result. What are you doing to achieve that purpose? Okay, I know that's a lot of what I'm saying. Now, you may wonder, why are we talking about this again, especially so closely to the last time? Well, again, when I was thinking about today's reading, Spirit said, run it back and add the complexity to it. I said, what is the complexity? Spirit said, it is discernment. So you may say, Mimi, where does discernment fall into the category of a motive and intention agenda? Okay? You have to be intentional about following your highest being. Your discernment comes through. Remember when I said the third eye? Some people may have a consciousness and they're tuned into their inner spirit and they're always following their inner spirit. And you got people that are unconsciousness. The great book talks about unconsciousness in a negative way as being in a reprobate mind. Okay. So some people are truly living in this world that are not consciously alert to their highest calling of their inner being because they're disconnected from that. Does that make sense, y'all? They're disconnected. So my point in saying all of that is we're going to be talking about today how motives, intentions, and agendas are being carried out and how the person A of this situation needs to understand discernment and apply discernment to really understand the motives, the intentions, and the agendas of the people or persons in your life. All right? Well, that was a lot. But if y'all ready to get into it, I want you to go ahead and put in the chat. I want you to go ahead and put a teacup, a coffee cup in the chat. Put your coffee cup, your drinking beverages, whatever it is that you're drinking on tonight, because I feel like this is going to be heavy. I feel like this is going to be so just informative and insightful. All right. So put those teacups, coffee cups, whatever beverage you drinking on tonight, because baby, we about to dive into this, and here we go. All right, y'all. So as we get into this, it's time for us to do discovery to uncover the things or issues that may be occurring between the person at this time. This may be a lot if you've never been here before, okay? But what I'm going to do is pull a host of cards, and then I will reorganize the cards to align with person A or person B. Remember, I do my readings for Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. I'm going to identify the energies, but what I want you to understand is that the energy can be inverted. So just because I call group A and you feel more aligned with person B, that's perfectly fine. All right. So here we go. Divine white light, well, welcome in place. Give us clear, precise message here currently and who will. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen. And I say, all right, what's going on? What is going on? Y'all, I can't make it up. A merry motive. A merry motive. Okay. Now, y'all just heard me talking about motives, intentions, and agendas. Guess what just came out? A merry motive. Okay. Now, what this is telling me is this was something that came out. This was unexpected. Hold on just a minute, y'all. Sorry. What is coming to me is I'm sorry, y'all. I'm distracted because my son is video game is like really loud and it's distracting me. I do apologize. What I am picking up on with this particular card is this was something that was very unexpected. There has been a lot of prayer, a lot of meditation, a lot of compassion. It's a lot of emotional investment in this particular connection with this person. There may have been a lot of smoke and mirrors in this situation. It also feels like things started out very hot, but probably cooled off, which may be confusing for you. And it feels like this person like kind of left you out to dry. Okay. It feels very disconnected and disjointed, right? And what I mean by that is things are not lining up the way that they may have initially pitched or approached this situation with you. Okay. So I'm getting a couple of things here. Number one, I'm getting possibly an earth sign may be involved, an earth sign or a fire sign. I'm also gathering here that there was a major spiritual shift that occurred, which could also be going back to why I talked about discernment earlier. Okay, so keep that note there. Okay, that it is very much so possible that we're talking about discernment with this as well. But this is a merry motive. Okay, so somebody had a specific reason behind why they were doing what they were doing, and it may have caught you off guard. But there was a major spiritual shift here that made you feel like they left you out to dry. They hung you out to dry. This was unexpected, okay? And this is where I'm getting that smoke and mirror from. Things were hot and then all of a sudden they got kind of cold, okay? What is the truth that we need to share for our journey? Service. I feel good when I can help others, okay? So this is about service, right? And when I was doing my inner monologue, if you will, I talked about things serving you for your great and your highest good. So, what this is now telling me is that one of the people, person A, whomever the person is an active service person. Okay, so you get your joy from giving to others. But what I am also trying to encourage you to understand is you got to be careful because when you are in service to other people, are your motives really what you think they are? You see what I'm saying? What motivates you? Is it the credit that you get? Is it the awareness that you get? Is it the attention that you get? You have to ask yourself, is there anybody in here that's an active service person? If you're an active service love person, love language person, I want you just to raise your hand in the chat. Because I've always been curious about people who are acts of service people, and I don't mean any harm when I say this, but it's very factual. People who are acts of service can be very performative, right? They're doing things because they get a rise out of being in that particular space, okay? So this particular person that we're talking about could very well be an acts of service person, which is also why this is more detrimental to you because this is what made you feel like, okay, you left me out to dry type of thing, right? It's in connection with what are you getting out of this connection with this other person, all right? Now, guys of the hidden realm, what messages do you have for us? Happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is about mentorship, fulfillment, peace of mind, and self-care. Okay. It's a lot of greenery coming in this morning or this evening. So this is telling me, honestly, as I'm looking at all of this greenery, this is going back to the heart chakra, right? This is about how you expand, how you give and receive love, right? How you show up in the world. Green also represents growth. Green is like even though people think about money, right? Greenery is not always limited to money. It is about growth, okay? So this is about you resetting to make sure that from this you are happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise, okay? With discernment, okay? With discernment. So there is something coming from this that is going to be prolific on the other side for you. Now, how is this showing up for you in your day-to-day life? All right. How is it? That didn't follow the spark. Okay. Now, remember, I told you with the other card that just came out, okay, with the follow the spark, I mentioned to you that it may have had a flame, like you might have started out hot and things went cold very quickly. Okay. Follow the spark. And again, there's some greenery on this card. There's a plant here. So, Spirit just said, bloom where you're planted. Okay. Listen. With this is something that is pivotal, that is going to help you grow. This is going to make you become stable. This is about divine protection. Okay? These are necessary things that needed to occur. And if you will recall in the open monologue, I did state that this was something that was going to have a shift and growth. That's why discernment is so important when we talk about motives and okay, and how do you apply your discernment there. Now, what's the sign that this message may be for the people who are here in it? What is a sign that this, y'all, I can't make this up. The butterfly. This is about a metamorphosis, right? I literally just mentioned to you guys that this is about a transformation. This is a shift, okay? And again, we have greenery. All 5 cards that fell out just now has some form of greenery here. So again, this is about you growing. This is about you becoming stable. This is about you learning how to protect yourself. This is your intuition. This can also be reflected on your faith journey. This can also be about your consciousness and your illumination and spirituality. Okay. So there is something remarkably astute that is coming from whatever it is that we're about to talk about. And what is our soul whisper for today? Okay, Spirit said, take the card out loud. All right, I sure. All right, y'all. So now it is time for me to go ahead and, ooh, y'all. Spirit said, you may have thought that you were in a dry season. Remember, I mentioned to you guys early on that you felt like this person left you out to dry? If y'all remember when I said that, just gave me the thumbs up in the chat. If you remember when I said you may have felt like this person left you out to dry, there is something that is coming back into fruition. There was a turning point. Do y'all have somebody coming back from y'all past? Oh, child. Why does it feel like there's somebody coming back from your past? It got to be somebody coming back from your past. Y'all, listen. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to get into this and find out what in the world is going on up in here. Okay, because this is crazy. So if y'all understand, y'all following along, give me the thumbs up in the chat because I'm about to go into this discovery and I'm gonna pull these cards to find out what we finna be talking about. Because this definitely feels like this is somebody, a blast from the past coming back into your life, and you have to have discernment to understand whether or not you're going to take them back, if they're being truthful in their communication, or if you're going to keep it pushing. Okay. Ooh, I'm ready. Here we go, y'all. All right, y'all. So before we move forward, I'm going to pull some insights. I'm going to pull a host of cards. Like I said, I know that it may seem like I'm doing the most, but just bear with me, okay? Because I promise you, we're going somewhere. Motives, intentions, and agendas applied with discernment. It definitely feels like somebody's coming back from the past, okay? And you got to be able to show that you've grown by not taking their stuff back. Okay, Spirit, what cosmic insight do you have for us? Challenges. Challenges. Make a decision to work on inner healing, okay? I literally just mentioned to you guys that you have to be in a place to illustrate that you have grown, and here goes challenges, okay? Make a decision to work on your inner healing, okay? There has been some challenges here. And I just said early on, initially, it may have felt like this person left you out to dry. They hung you out to dry. They weren't, they did something that was foul. I'm not even gonna hold you. And it was detrimental. But during this time apart, you use this time proactively, productively. You've been working on your healing, doing your therapy, doing your shadow work, focusing on yourself, going to the gym, worrying about your money. You've been dealing with all the right things. And for this person to come back this late in the game is really unexpected and shocking. What is the team? Thief, robbed, lost, physical or emotional loss. I literally just said to you guys that you may have felt like this person left you out to dry. They stole something from you. Okay, you feel deprived like a mofo. Left you out to dry, did something foul, robbed, lost, theft, or physical or emotional. This was very ugly of them. Whatever they did, it was horrendous. And you trusted this person so much that you really could not see coming. All right. What else is going on? Honey Badger said all of that. All right. Chained, codependency, unhealthy attachment, and weighted down. Okay, again, this is heavy earth energy. So I wouldn't be surprised if someone in this reading is a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or have heavy Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn placements. Because this chain card does reflect devil-like energy, okay, which is the codependency, the unhealthy attachments, and feeling weighted down. This is also tying into what I said about this person and whatever they did that was foul. Okay, when you guys broke it off, whatever they did was massively egregious and foul. It was wrong. Okay, it was wrong on every level. So the fact that we're even talking about the possibility of this mofo even spinning the block and coming back over, like, are we serious right now? The biggest flex that you can have in your life is to be able to say, I grew up and I've moved on. The biggest flex in your life is to be able to answer a call from an ex or respond to a text and say, it was good hearing from you though. And you not talking about nothing because you've healed. When we look into the broken mirror, what do y'all listen? Spirit is coming through. Why did planning just fall out? Okay, planning. But you will know on this card, it also says text, phone call, meeting up. Didn't I just say that? These cards is hot today, baby. I literally just said to you, the biggest flex is being able to answer the phone or respond to a text and tell your ex, blah, blah, blah. It was good hearing from you, though. Y'all not hearing me? Y'all not listening? Y'all over here playing on my live. Y'all over here just blowing smoke. If y'all know what I'm talking about, I want you to go ahead and put a black heart in the chat. If you've ever been in a situation where you got an unexpected call from an ex, and you over here like, what? Like, what are we over here talking about?
Very careful.
I'm just saying, I'm telling you, somebody is coming back from your past, honey. Put a black heart in the chat if you with me. All right, what lies beneath all of this? What lies beneath? I really wouldn't be surprised if they get on your phone. If they get on your phone, playing on your phone, trying to take you out on a date. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they trying to take you out on a date. All right, what lies beneath all of this? Copycat. Okay, copycat. Now, I'm not sure exactly what this has to do with anything, but we do have a copycat with a lot of paper coming around here. I'm going to hold this one for a second because what I'm starting to get is that on this card, there's a lot of books and paper flying around. So I would not be surprised. Thank you, Spirit. If you were doing a lot of research and or studying on learning how to overcome these feelings and emotions, this copycat card, while it sounds like somebody's trying to emulate somebody, what it is that when person A was going on their healing journey from this person, they literally forced themselves to emulate the things that they were learning and studying. Does that make sense? When you're going through a healing process, sometimes you go through these things where you're like enriching yourself and engulfing yourself with all of this data and information and content to try to help you heal. And it's like you're kind of forcing yourself to heal and you're not really healing from the inside out. You just trying to tell yourself that you're healing, but you're really not healing. Does that make sense? It's almost like, Lord forgive me, but I'm gonna go there. It's almost like these people that get on these podcasts and they talk about all these idealistic relationship things, but then when you look at their relationships in their real life, they just repeating stuff that they don't even experience, never have experienced. You ain't supposed to be listening to them for no reason at all. And they just over here just talking, right? Repeating narratives that are untrue. Okay. So what I'm saying is for person A, they were doing this. They were seeking to emulate what they were absorbing through educational resources to help them better understand. They were trying to fake it until they make it. Okay. And this is where we are. Okay. We had to fake it till we make it. And now this is where we are. Now, what is the true emotion here? What is the true? Listen, I ain't mad at you. When you going through a breakthrough and something caught you off guard, baby, you got to do whatever you got to do. I don't care if you saying the Lord's Prayer all throughout the day. I don't care if you repeating, Phenomenal Woman by Maya Angelou. I don't care what you got to do to stay yourself sane. That's what this person is doing. All right. The true emotion here is under pressure, anxiety, decisions. Time is running out. Okay. Somebody is under pressure. They have a lot of anxiety. Okay. They're under pressure. They're dealing with decisions, knowing that time is running out. Y'all, somebody from the past is coming back. I'm sorry to tell you. I am sorry to tell you. I don't want to tell you this. I'm offended by having to tell you this, but you got somebody coming back from the past. Now, what is the yin and the yang? What is the yin and yang? Y'all better get ready. I just talked about this last night. How it was all this Aquarius energy in the air. We had Sun, Moon, Venus, and Mercury all in Aquarius yesterday, and on the day of Aquarius season. So somebody's coming around to get the gab. Okay, they coming around to get the gab. They think they can smooth talk you. They expecting for you not to be healed and delivered. They expecting to be able to get on your phone. Baby, I've been thinking. No, and they over there just telling all kind of lies. Psalms 91 is my favorite scripture. All right, then y'all, these cards is hot today. Do you hear me? Two cards just fell out. Apology, forgiveness, guilt. Wants to speak their heart, compassion, emotional confession. Y'all better stop playing on my live tonight. Y'all better stop playing on my live because I literally just said this and y'all over here like, I don't want nobody from my past coming back. Baby, they are coming back. Whether you want them to or not, they're coming back. The question is, are you going to be prepared to tell them to go kick rocks?
Hello.
The next thing is, the other card that fell out just is the card called Cold, Self-Control, Silent, Observing, Hiding Feelings, Secretive, Blocking Emotions, and a Mask. Y'all, what have we been talking about? Feelings, intentions, not feelings. Now I'm all jacked up. Motives, intentions, agendas mixed with discernment.
I am disgusted.
Hey, princess, listen, I'm trying to tell y'all Y'all got somebody coming back from the past, and I know y'all don't want to hear it, but this is what it is. All right. So let's look at this. Who is person A? Person A in all of this. I believe person A definitely has gone through some challenges and they've worked on their inner health and healing. I'm standing on that based on the initial energy reading. I am also standing on the fact that I feel like this person is cold. Okay. They're cold. They're controlling. They're watching. They're listening to what you're saying, but they're not jumping. They're not biting the bait. They're really just over here, just like, I, I hear you. I don't have nothing to offer you. Y'all understand what I'm saying? I also feel like this person has gone, they felt like they were robbed, okay? They felt like they had a physical or emotional loss here. And I feel like this person is the individual that's over here copying and absorbing everything, okay? Trying to keep themselves in a positive space. I can't tell you right now the length of time that it has gone by since you have been in a relationship with this person, but I do feel like this is, like I said, faking it till you make it. So I definitely feel like person A went through a period of repeating things until they started to believe the things that they were repeating because their heart was broken. Like, what else were they supposed to do? If you've had your heart broken within the last year by somebody, I want you to put the heartbreak emoji in the chat. Okay? Because I definitely feel like there has been some type of catastrophic thing that has taken place that has been very, very hurtful. Okay. So I definitely feel like that's been a sentiment with person A. Person B, I definitely feel like they got pressure. Okay. They're under pressure. They are having anxiety decisions, knowing that time is running out. They want to come back with an apology. They want to forgive. They want to free their consciousness. They want to have time to speak their heart. Remember, I told you they're going to be calling you up out the blue. They're looking for your compassion, your empathy, and your confession. Your confession. They're hoping that when they call you, person A, they're hoping that you have something to offer them. And remember, I told y'all the biggest flex is to be able to say, "All right, good. All right, boo. I'm good. Enjoy. Have a nice night. It was good talking to you. Happy New Year." You understand what I'm saying? It was all of those things. Okay, it was all of those things. I also feel like with person B here, they have healthy, unhealthy attachments. They have a codependency energy. They feel weighted down. They have changed. They had a lot of distractions going on in their lives. The distractions that they had were not just family obligations; these were work obligations. Like they just are not in a, they're just not in a healthy place. You understand what I'm saying? This particular person does not view therapy counseling well. They're not receptive. This person got issues. Well, we all got issues, but I mean for real, this person over here, this person right here, oh, they had some issues, baby. They was fried like scrambled eggs, okay? Now, they're also planning, okay? They're planning when they're going to call you next, how they're going to text you. And remember, I told you they are going to suggest that y'all meet up to go on a date. Oh my God. They are serious about how they're going to come forward with you. Now, I know if you out there like me, I'm like, who are you talking about, girl? Because I want to know who. Okay, I want to know who. So if y'all ready to know whose business we finna get in, I want to see those magnifying glasses, magnifying glasses, magnifying glasses. Because I sure know, baby, we ain't got time for this. It's 2026. What I know we said this last year. My guppies know. The people that's been riding with me for the past 2 years, y'all know I said this in 2025. But we're gonna extend that into 2026. There's 4 places we ain't about to go. We ain't about to go back and forth, in and out, round and round, up and down with nobody. Okay, I repeat. We're not about to go back and forth, up and down, round and round, in and out with nobody. Okay? We're not doing that. Either you're here, you are, it is what it is. Either you are here or you're not here. We're not gonna play these games in 2026. We sick of the skit, replace the K, put an H in 2026. Okay? We done with it. All right. So if y'all ready to get into find out whose business I want to see those drums in the chat, drums in the chat, drums in the chat. Because, baby, when I tell you I want to know, I'm invested now because these cars is coming in hot. All right. Drums in the chat, drums in the chat, drums in the chat. Here we go. person, dang, that came. I told y'all these cards are hot. Person A, y'all know what? Y'all got to water my hand and squeeze my palms, grease my palms, water the mailbox, do all of the above. I told y'all this person was an earth sign. It had heavy earth energy. If you or your person is a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, I want you to put an earth sign in the chat. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorns, you are coming in as the 10 of Pentacles, which is wealth, which I talked about. I said, when you see a lot of greenery, it represents growth and stability. I said a lot of times when we talk about expansion, it often talks about monetary, okay? Wealth, financial security, family, long-term success, and contribution, okay? So what I'm saying is person A is in their bag. I said that. If you don't believe me, go back and watch it from the beginning. I said person A has been focusing on other things aside from relationships. They've been focusing on their work. They've been going to the gym. They've been doing things, expanding their hobbies, doing the things that they want to do. Baby, they ain't been thinking about you. Okay? When you started to play these damn games with them, they said, you know what? All right, this sucks, but I'm going to get over it and I'm going to move on with my life because ain't nothing back here for me. Okay? And I am glad for you. I am so glad for you because you ain't over here letting this person play with you. Okay? You done came a long way and I'm happy for you.
I did.
All right. Now, person B. Who is person B? Now, let's get a drum roll. If y'all interested in knowing who person B is, I want you to put those drums in the chat because who's the person that's coming back? Now, all these cards just flew over. I was going to get real excited. That was like 5, 6 cards. Okay. Y'all. Person B is also a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Person B is coming in as a Two of Pentacles in reverse. This is overcommitted, disorganized, reprioritized, lack of balance, and overwhelmed. Didn't I tell y'all this person had a lot of issues? Didn't I just tell y'all that this person had too much going on? Didn't I tell y'all this person was very distracted? Y'all over here playing tonight. If y'all heard me say all of those things, not even 3 minutes ago, I want you to put your ear in the chat, drop the ear in the chat, raise your hand, because honey, this mofo right here can't make a decision to save their life. So if y'all ready to get into this, I'm ready to find out more about what in the world is going on here, all right? So if you or your person have heavy earth placements, I want you to go ahead and put that earth sign in the chat because, baby, we finna read you for filth. I ain't gonna. I'm gonna be nice tonight. I promise. I promise. But somebody said, Lord, that sounds like the Virgo. It could be now. Listen, we gonna find out more. But here we go, y'all. All right, y'all. So this is where I integrate everything that I've told you prior to now, and Spirit will confirm everything that I said through these cards, okay? This is where I integrate my psychic intuitive reading with the tarot card reading, okay? And now that we have identified the foundational energy of what we're dealing with here, we are now going to dive in deep, find out the real tea about what's going on, all right? So with that being said, what in the world is going on presently with person A? What is going on here with person A? Person A definitely feels like the feminine energy, and person B definitely does feel like masculine energy. However, if you are the opposite, you can not that big. All right, person A, you're coming in tonight as the Page of Pentacles in reverse. You are starting in with your own foundational energy. Okay, when I tell y'all this earth energy is coming in thick, listen. Person A is not trying to hear anything that anybody has to say. Person A, you so fed up, busted, and disgusted, not in the physical, but when it comes to relationships, you are tired. You are sick and tired, okay? Person A, you have gone through everything that you could possibly go through when it comes to relationships. So this was the breaking point of where you said, I can't do this no more, okay? You've come to that critical moment where you said enough is enough.
sick. I am sick of your shit. And when I'm not sick, I'm tired. I am sick and tired.
Person A is no longer looking for love, affection, admiration, validation, confirmation. You're not looking for any of those external rewards that you were once looking for. You are not looking for that in anybody else. All of that energy is coming from within. Like I said, person A, you are very likely to be an active service person. So, whereas before you were being very performative towards other people, you are now taking a step back and looking at yourself. You are now taking a step back and loving on you. You are the type of person where you are out here like, you know what? Instead of me taking you lunch, I'm going to take myself out to lunch. Instead of me washing and folding your clothes, I'm going to wash and fold my clothes for the week. Get my stuff. I'm just making up an example, right? Whereas before, you would have been all about, I'm going to say Mike. We're going to call him Mike. Mike. Whereas you would have been Mike. I got to go do this for Mike. I got to do this. Now, you like, what? Who? I got to get to the gym. I'm going to be at the gym for 45 minutes and I'm going to get my nails done. Then after that, I'm going to get my hair done. And then on Friday night, I'm going to take myself out to dinner. You are loving on you right now, okay? Nobody can tell you nothing. Okay, you are loving on yourself. You are focused, so focused right now on yourself. And I love this for you. While you are also focusing on yourself right now, you are growing and expanding professionally. You may have a promotion either recently, you have either been recently promoted or you are incumbing upon a promotion, okay, or some type of pay increase. Things are going well for you financially. So it's not the monetary things that's the issue, it's the interpersonal relationship talking about, right? Now, person B, y'all, let's find out what Mike over here talking about, okay? We had an Earl last year, now we got Mike. What is Mike over here talking about, okay? All right, well, dog, y'all, Mike came out real quick. 9 of Swords in reverse, okay? 9 of Swords in reverse. Mike done had a wake-up call, all right? Mike done finally came to his sense of understanding. He done finally realized that he's been over here wasting time playing games, being full of skit. Mike realizing that his life is passing him by, okay? With this 9 of Swords here in reverse, they are over here realizing that they no longer can continue to go down this path that they've been going down. Their life is dysfunctional. They're chaotic. They're dysfunctional, chaotic, and out of control. You can't be dysfunctional and chaotic. You could be dysfunctional, but you got to have things in order. You can't, and that's kind of like an oxymoron, being dysfunctional and have some order. But you can't be dysfunctional and chaotic. Okay? So this particular person done had a wake-up call. We just passed Capricorn season, so it's very likely that they just had a birthday in December or January. But whatever it was, the wake-up call that they had, they finally came to the realization that they cannot continue to move forward like this. They are tired and this is exhausting. I'm just telling you. Somebody said organized dysfunction. I'm trying to tell you, Carrie just said, oh my God, Capricorn, December 24th. I'm trying to tell you, they just had a wake-up call and they are now realizing that this is unsustainable. Okay, this is unsustainable. My life is out of control. Okay, they may have codependencies with alcohol, okay, and other substances. Why can't I speak now? This person may also stutter when they need to tell the truth. Like when they need to be vulnerable, they don't know how to be vulnerable. They may start, y'all, they may start stuttering when they got to tell the truth. Okay. Now, I'm also getting here that they are really ashamed. Okay, they are really ashamed. I'm laughing because Sweetheart said, "Oh my God, yes." They are really, really ashamed of themselves. They're not happy with their lives. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if this person just had a milestone birthday at that, but they're not happy with what they've been doing with themselves at all. They're ashamed. They are embarrassed. They definitely feel like almost on the brink of humiliated. You know how people sometimes, when they realize how out of control they have been, they likely have started to get like that sadness and this depression, right? And you just be like, what in the world? Where did this come from? Well, person A, you're not seeing it because you're living your best life, okay? It's person B who is over here going through this anxiety. Well, we already got the anxiety, decisions, time is running out. They feel like they're under pressure. They have code. So it's all tracking, okay? It's all tracking. Now, the question then becomes, what are some hidden things that you can't see, y'all? What are some of the emotions that are occurring right now with person A that is dominating their energy in this present moment? I kind of already told you, but what are some of those energies that are dominating person A's energy at this present moment? The Five of Swords, okay? Like I said, person A, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, you got sick and tired of dealing with this person and their nonsense. This conflict was not solely resting on Mike, okay, person B. It wasn't solely them. I feel like person A, you've gotten to the point where you had a revelation. I said this in the beginning. There was something, what do you call it? Not catastrophic, but there was a spiritual shift that occurred where you woke up and you said, you know what? I'm sick of all these conflicts. I'm sick of all this nonsense. I need to be a better person to myself. And when you got this aha, that's when you started going on these binges of all these informational things, these educational seminar, whatever it is, however you're re-energizing yourself and filling your cup back up. That's what you have been doing because you have been so sick and tired of dealing with this conflict, this tension, this loss, and all of this nonsense that has just weighed on you. And it made you feel like, okay, am I the problem? You over here sound like Cardi B. Am I the drama? Because honestly, let's keep it real. When you continue to go through all of these negative situations and circumstances with people, you start to look at yourself and you're like, what am I doing that I'm attracting all these people? So person A, kudos to you for saying enough is enough. I have had my last heartbreak. I have had my last try at bullshit. I am no longer going to put myself out there if it's going to always continue to end like this. Now, person B, what are the emotions or energies that are dominating their current energy time? They got the King of Swords in reverse, King of Wands in reverse, okay? Remember I told you this person's life has been out of control, all right? This Mickey Ficky over here wouldn't make a decision as first of all, we talking about a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They don't do nothing fast anyway. Okay? They take their time, they sweet, precious time. They ain't rushing. Jesus can be on the main line, and I'm telling you, it would not be of any consequence or emergency to them. Okay? They ain't in no hurry. They gonna do what they want to do when they want to do it and how they want to do it. Okay? Person B has always been somewhat demotivated, but again, their life is chaotic and dysfunctional. You can't have dreams, goals, and aspirations when your life is out of order. You're dysfunctional and you're chaotic. Okay? So, what does this have to do with motives, intentions, and agendas? Hear me out. If you have clouded judgment, okay, and your life is in disarray, your emotional state is disconnected and in disarray. Therefore, you're not moving from the space and the attention of your heart space to seek love, admiration, and all of that good stuff. You're not moving from that heart space to get to love somebody and to connect with someone on that level. You're operating from a closed heart space. Y'all hear me? Their heart is closed. They're unavailable, shut down. Okay? It's no way that they can even have the right motives at heart because they're coming from a closed heart space. Their intentions cannot be pure because they're unconscious to the things that they're doing. But just like you, person A, had your wake-up call, they also had their wake-up call too. And they are not liking what they see about themselves. want to come forth with this apology. They want to shed some guilt. Listen, just because you done grew up, don't mean that I got to be on the other side of your growth. It's not my fault that you were not ready. And this is where your discernment, person A, is coming in. Okay? You do not have to be available to them just because they decided that they finally wanted to wake up and smell the coffee. You wanted to be stuck in a roundabout, well, you stay in the roundabout, but I'm moving on. Now, the question then becomes, y'all cracking me up over here. Sweetheart said, you preaching, honey? Yes. Now, what feelings are both of these people choosing to acknowledge or suppress? Okay. What are the feelings that person A is choosing to acknowledge or suppress? Listen. Person A, you acknowledging that you did this with this 8 of Swords. Person A is over here. You are so proud of your growth. Listen, if you look at yourself and where you were this time last year, you are proud of yourself. You have grown. You've gotten the clarity. Like I said, initially you were faking it until you made it. But now you have made it. You're happy. Okay? You're in a space where you got new beginnings, clarity. You got thoughts. Clear mind. Your mind is not convoluted with all of this nonsense. You are free. You're making clear, conscientious decisions. Like I said, everything in your life is lining up. Whereas before you had some blockers and some impediments that was causing you not to be on track, baby, your hair is growing back, your edges is coming in thick, your skin is clearing up, you ain't bloated from stress and high cortisol level. Like you are in your good space. Okay? You are in your good space. But if you look at where you were this time last year, these things were not made available to you. And now you want to know why. Now you want to know why. Why are they trying to come back? Well, I'll tell you. What feelings or emotions is person B, this other Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn? Dang. 3 of Wands in reverse. Okay? They got the 3 of Wands in reverse. Baby, they could not make a decision to save their life. I done said it. I'm going to say it again. Person B was not in a place to where they was ready and able to make clear decisions. They couldn't come up with the path forward. They didn't know where to go, what to do. Like I said, they're dysfunctional and chaotic. Okay? They can't make a decision. They can't move forward because they don't know they left from their right. And I hate to say it that way, but it's like, it's the realest way of how we can say it. You don't know what you're doing. And then you want to sit around here and play games, and then you want to act like it's everybody else's emergency. Listen, I'm going to tell you like I tell my professional compadres, okay? A lack of urgency on your part does not constitute an emergency on my part. And now they're finally understanding that. The alarm finally went off. You cannot be regressive. You cannot stand here and do nothing. The days and time is going by. And you still living life like you just came out of college yesterday. That is not going to work. It's not going to work for you, person A, and it ain't going to work for nobody else in the future. When you see a grown man, okay, I'm going to use myself as an example. When I see a grown man, I'll be 42 years old this year, okay? When I see a grown man and you telling me you 45, you 50, I go as far as 10 years up. I dated a man that, thank you so much for my gift, Miss Jean. I dated a man so far as 16 years older than me. When that mother trucker was so ill prepared that you couldn't even dress right for a first date, I said, absolutely not. Hell to the no, no. No, ma'am, no siree. I said, I cannot. If you are 56 years old and you don't know how to dress for a date, baby, what are we talking about? Hell no. Now, what is positive about this situation? Okay, what has been favorable to come out of this? All right. Goodness. What is working in your favor? Okay. Hey, what is working in your favor right now? You know what, Spirit? You keep throwing out all these doggone cards. Too many. Give me one. Look, I'm having technical difficulties. This person's so chaotic and dysfunctional now, I can't shuffle my own cards. All right, here we go. What is favorable about this? What is working in your favor? I swear, every time I shuffle, it just keeps doing stupid stuff. Okay, what is favorable? The Queen of Swords. Okay, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, you definitely have had some time to sit back and reflect. You have sat back, you've collected and analyzed data, you've assessed, you have realized, okay, through your reflections and introspections that you certainly were not a flaw, okay? We're not going to sit here and default all the nonsense to this other person because that would be us being dishonest with ourselves, okay? Person A, you have come to the point where you realize that there was a lot of obstacles. There were a lot of challenges present in this situation. There was a lot of grief that was assigned with it, right? There was a lot of obstructions here. There was a lot of things that you were willing to overcome. You are willing to do the work when it comes into play with this person because psychologically you are in a place where you're just like, I'm just ready to settle down. I would do whatever I need to do. Hey, Nakia, hey, you would do whatever you got to do to get through this situation. Okay? This is where you were at this point in time when you got with this particular individual. But now that you've had a moment to take a step back and to reflect, you realize that this was not at all what it was that you wanted to do and should have been doing with your life. Okay? You finally came to the point of realizing this was unhealthy, this was toxic, this was damaging, this was compromising, this was irresponsible, and this was reckless on my behalf. Okay? So let's be honest with you, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, how you're feeling about this. Because now that you've had this time apart, you've had this opportunity to grow and to thrive in this capacity. And that's why we are here. Now, it was something I was about to. I forgot. Okay. Now, the question then becomes for you, okay? Now that Spirit has highlighted what has been working for you, okay? I want you to write down in the chats how this is really making you feel. Is this confirmation for you? Are you feeling good? Are you happy with the progress that you have been making? Like, tell me how this is making you feel right now. Because I really feel like this is that confirmation and that relief for you. But I'm going to let you tell me how this is making you feel. All right? Now, and if you got some good things, tell me what your wins are. All right? Now, person B. Not even person B. What is consequential about this? What cycles have we been repeating? Oh, Lord, we got the Lovers in reverse, y'all. Okay, we got the Lovers in reverse. So, going back to you, person A, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, you came to the realization that you kept putting yourself in compromising situations. I literally just said that, so I had no idea that card was going to come out. You've done the assessment. You have done the work. You have done the reflection. You have spent enough time by yourself to say, I am no longer going to put myself in difficult situations that are not inspiring me to grow and to thrive. Okay. Now, if Mike over here, person B, this other Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, want to sit around here and play games, that's not my problem.
Was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
It is not my problem. I was ready. You were not. Okay? I was ready. You were not. So you can call me if you want to. I'm going to say, hey, how you doing? How your mama doing? How your sister and them doing? How your daughter doing? I heard, whatever. All right, it was good. I had a great time talking to you, Joy. And watch, they're not going to know how to handle this. Because when people pray. on people's kindness. Remember, we were talking about motives, agendas, and intentions. Okay? This is why you got to have discernment. All right? This is why you got to have discernment. And honeybee, I'm so glad you said no longer people please to receive love. Remember, I mentioned early on with this service card that it is very likely that you are an acts of service person in your love language. So I'm not surprised that that has come through. Thank you, sweetheart. She says, I needed this live tonight. Ow. But seriously, person B made you realize where you were selling yourself short. And it's the saddest thing because so many people go through life giving their all to somebody and they don't even give you a breadcrumb.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
So the question then becomes, now that you have acknowledged that this is a cycle that you have been repeating, in what ways are you turning off the autopilot? Now, I know that that's a lot, but I'm seriously asking the question, how are you disabling the autopilot? If you are no longer settling for being on repeat, I want you to put the stop sign in the chat. And if you don't even realize or didn't realize that you was on a spin cycle, I want you to put the repeat emoji in the chat. Because sometimes it takes us longer to learn lessons than what we normally will be learning them. And there's nothing wrong with that. All right? Now, when we talk about the lessons that Spirit is trying to teach, what are the real soul lessons? Okay? Thank you, E-Jack. I appreciate it. Too many cards. All right. So, what is the soul lesson here? We have finally arrived at, well, we just arrived at a major arcana with these lovers in reverse. So, what this is telling me with the lesson here that you're trying to learn, Spirit is telling you, you're not moving forward in your relationships with people because you're off balance. Okay? Spirit is telling me that it's two things. No one is perfect, first and foremost. So you have to learn how to take the good with the bad. Okay? That's first and foremost. The second thing is you can do all things with prayer. Okay? And communicate with your Father. Okay? I don't know what y'all believe, but obviously we all here, so we believe that there is some type of high being, right? Engage that higher being. Okay? And have conversations and ask for ways on how to get through. Because there are always some types of challenges. Nobody is perfect, okay? There's always going to be a good and a bad with everybody, okay? I'm sorry. There is no perfect person. I'm not perfect. You not perfect. We not perfect. You know why? Because our motives and intentions, the what and the why of what we do and how we thought it was going to play out may not be how the other person interpreted it. And that's what makes relationships so hard and so compound and so complex and so draining and so this and so that. Because there is no such thing as perfect imperfection. Okay? There is no such thing as that. So what Spirit is trying to tell you that you have to understand that, yes, you can have a healthy relationship, but it has to be done in moderation and with balance. With this particular person that you were invested in, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, this person was not it on any level, shape, form, or fashion. And you now understand that. They was walking the walk. They was talking the talk, but they couldn't walk the walk.
You are a scammer.
And you didn't see that until it was too late. You were too caught up and you were too invested. And that's what Spirit is telling you today. It's nothing wrong with you being able, and listen, your spirit guides are here to guide you through it. Your spirit guides are telling you, this is why conscientiousness and discernment is imperative. We talked about it early on in my beginning monologue, but I'm bringing it back here. If your spirit guides are communicating with you through the conscious realm and telling you, baby, this ain't it, and you keep overriding it, then what else is your angels and your spirit team supposed to do? They told you. You just said, override.
Oh, my God.
What are they supposed to do? Spirit said, you're wondering why your life is being disrupted in this way. And it is disruptive because you have two major arcanas here back to back, which means these Look, where are these balloons falling from? Spirit is over here in agreement, y'all, because we got balloons falling over here on YouTube. But anyway, Spirit is telling you that this has been so disruptive to your life. This is why you're not progressing and moving forward, because you have made poor decisions. And again, I'm not going to elevate one person and put down the other, because around here we tell the truth and believe in accountability. Okay? And so this is accountability. You, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, person A, have got to make better choices and better decisions. But here's the thing. While those things all may be perfect, you have done the work to now where you're finally realizing that you're not going to be willing to be able to be available to things that are not what you want them to be. You have grown.
The ghetto!
When people come at you and they coming at you half stepping, you over there looking at them like, do what now? Going back to my example that I gave you about the 50-year-old man. You want to go out on a date wearing that? And I ain't even trying to be funny. I'm not even shallow, okay? But if you're going on a first date, please explain to me why you're 50 years old wearing a T-shirt that got the collar all wrung out. You know, like that commercial. I don't know who commercial that is. It's a laundry commercial where the crow neck becomes a U neck or a V neck or something like that. It's all stretched out. The shirt was dingy, y'all. It wasn't even white no more. It was like a light gray. And this mother trucker had on some flip-flops. Meanwhile, I got on a sundress and some heels. Where are we going looking like this? So my point is discernment. Yes, somebody could say, ooh, that was being shallow. Ooh, that was being judgmental. But my discernment was going off to tell me this person does not have any healthy motives, intentions, or agendas for this connection based on how they chose to show up and represent themselves. You're 56 years old. How many first dates you know been on in your life? You know better.
I said what I said.
And I said what I said. Don't care. But anyway, back to the broadcast. All right. So where am I saying all of this? Every storm that we have gone through teaches us a lesson. And the question is, have you learned your lesson? If you have learned your lesson, I want you to go ahead and put the stars in the chat. And if you are still learning your lesson, I want you to go ahead and put the books in the chat. Because listen, ain't nobody perfect. Sometimes we get it earlier in life. Sometimes we learn our lessons later on in life. But the point is that you're learning. Is you're learning and all right? Now, I also am curious enough to know if there was one word that you would say could summarize the lesson that you needed to learn, what would that one word be? For me, it's patience. Because I now understand that everything ain't for me. And I'm not eager to attract nothing that ain't for me. And I now believe that when something is for me, it will be for me. But I am no longer chasing things that don't belong to me. You understand? You heard me? Something wrong with me today. All right, now, what do you need to do to heal? Ooh, got the high priestess in reverse. Okay? Another major arcana. What spirit is telling you today is, with this, you have got to stop ignoring your intuition. You have all the tools and everything that you need to know how to navigate and to govern. If you have that lack of clarity, if things are ambiguous, if things are confusing, that is your number one indicator that this is not something that you need to be invested in. Okay? If it's not clear, don't make sense, the math ain't mathing, it ain't adding up, it's not doing so for a reason. And when you look back at this connection with person B, again, chaotic, dysfunctional, out of control, things were not adding up, things were not lining up. They will make promises they can't keep. They will plan dates and don't take you out. It was just really ratchet and tacky. So the fact that they over here thinking about trying to call you back is insane to me.
You look so dumb right now.
Okay? It just is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, how do you get to the point, even have the audacity to pick up the phone and to call me to say anything to me? What are we talking about?
That is so stupid.
Okay? What are we talking about? But Spirit is telling you that this is where your discernment, bringing it back full circle, this is where your discernment comes into play. Do not override your inner spirit, your inner knowing, and your discernment, because that's going to get you every time. If you are tuned in, turned on, tapped into your inner spirit, that third eye and the 5D, if you're connected and you have consciousness, your spidey senses is going to be going off and be telling you that something ain't right. You understand what I'm saying? They over here trying to smooth talk you, trying to get in. You over there looking at them like, what? Okay? And rightfully so. Now, y'all got me working hard today. All right, now, what? Doggone it. I was about to ask, so what should you be doing for growth? Okay? What should you be doing to call yourself higher? And Spirit did kick out this Knight of Swords in reverse. Okay, we got the Knight of Swords in reverse. So what Spirit is telling me, don't be in no hurry. Don't be rushing. Don't be doing nothing. And I think that you have understood that during your time of isolation and reflection. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, I'm really happy for you, because we know if anybody is going to keep a list on the back burner, it's going to be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Let me tell you, baby, you're going to have a phone book list of 1,099 people on there, and you will go and call through because you don't like to be alone. And you might not even want nothing. You might just want to be over here just having some little conversation, just trying to give yourself a little thing. You know, just flirting here. You don't really want nothing for real. You just hoping here, like, yeah, because I just need to know that I still got it. But you ain't even been doing that.
Get that stuff out of here. I told you this is a hen party. Don't try to sneak apple juice to my hen party.
Okay? So this is where you are, and this is a positive space for you to be in right now. And I'm going to celebrate your growth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, because this is not like you. Okay? I am going to celebrate your growth because this ain't like you. Not like I said, normally you would have been spinning a block. You would have been cycling through old contacts, trying to keep yourself busy, doing all the wrong things. And this time you actually got it right. You cracked the code. So now I know that y'all are curious and want to know, well, what exactly are the motives that we're talking about? What exactly are those hidden agendas that I need to be warned about? Well, about to get into that, because here we go. Now, as we dive deeper, I will explain and examine, okay, how these things are coming to play right now in your life, okay? And understandably so. This is not, we need to understand like what all is that we're dealing with here. And I'm telling you, sometimes things come out very clear early on, and sometimes they do not, okay? So I'm going to tell you, this is where Spirit reveals the hidden motives, the unseen layers, and the real aha moments. So I want you to pay close, careful attention, because these clarifiers do not lie, okay? So, Spirit. What are the hidden motives, and what are the things that we did not see early on? Okay. So you got the Queen of Cups as the first card that came out. And what Spirit is saying is that you gave a lot to this connection. You probably gave way too much. And I kind of touched on this earlier, that you gave so much to this person. You kind of let them run amok, if I'm being honest, okay? And I'm saying that because it feels like this was very emotional task you gave them. It also feels like you've gotten to the point where you surrendered because you realize, like, yo, he's not going. This is not happening, that type of thing. So there was a lot of positives in this, But I also feel like this particular individual was taking advantage of your kindness for, okay, again, you are an acts of service person, okay? You may even be a words of affirmation person as your second, okay? But this particular person took advantage of all the good things you were willing to do. Like, you gave them everything. And what Spirit is saying, like, wow, that's cute, protect your energy. Because the motives for this were not for the reasons that you were thinking. You were under the impression that they wanted to be with you. But they were taking advantage of you because they have codependencies, unhealthy attachments, and they were weighted down in their own bullcrap. You understand what I'm saying? They were messed up in their own mess. And they were literally taking advantage of you.
It doesn't even go here.
I can't make this up. I can't make this up. You got the moon card in reverse. When I tell you there was, going back to the discernment, okay? There was so much going on here that you had no awareness of. This person was playing with your emotions. And this is why Spirit is saying you got to activate your discernment. And see, now that you've been through this this encounter, while it is and has been very unfortunate, very sad, very nobody wants to go through this. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody wants to go through some, you know what I mean? But now you got your firepower. Now you're in a place where it's like, okay, I know what I know because I'm wise, and I know how to apply what I've learned. I've got knowledge now. I got the toolkit. So when I'm telling you something about this situation don't feel right, I'm going to trust myself and trust and know that something about this ain't right. I ain't got to see it all to know it all because I know what I know.
Don't check me, boo.
So Spirit is saying there was a lot going on here that you could not see. This person was taking advantage of you. Remember, chaotic, dysfunctional, out of control. Couldn't make a decision. Couldn't stay focused. Couldn't get stuck out of gear. Stuck in the roundabout. Okay? All the things. All the things. One card, Spirit, not two. Six of Swords. Yeah. They thought you weren't going to never walk away. They didn't think you was going to ever walk away. Listen, everything about this was emotional. I would not be surprised if this person tried to get with you by the way of a trauma bond, because I have a lot of water here, which again is represented by emotions. They didn't think that you were going to walk away, and they did everything in their power. And initially they were successful in keeping you grounded. They were saying something to you to try to lure you back in. Like I said, they had to get the gab. Every time you tried to walk away, every time you try to leave, something keeps pulling me back. That was what you had for life. Okay, that is exactly what you had to going on in your life. There was a lot of things that were not unclear to you. You felt powerless. And you almost felt a sense of, right? Because again, this was very emotional. Okay, now you could say, I loved him. Okay, that's a part of it. But it was so much more going on in this than I loved him. You understand what I'm saying? There was so much going on here that you were so unaware of. And when I tell you, I am so proud of you, because baby, this person, thank you for my gift. This person, Malia, thank you. This person here, they were a emotionally abusive person, but I don't think they intended to be emotionally abusive. What I do think is that because they were so chaotic and dysfunctional and out of control, they realistically did not know any better. There may have been a lot of sexual energies here too. Okay, well, I would imagine if you have two Taurus, Virgo, Capricorns in an intimate setting, I would believe that this would just be, a very passionate encounter each time, right? But I also think that this is why you got caught up in confusion.
He's not ready for all of this. It's just
This is why you got caught up. This is why you got caught up. And this is where you subconsciously got on that cycle that we were talking about earlier. And they simply took advantage of it through their codependencies, their unhealthy attachments, how they were weighed down. They took advantage of your kindness for your weakness, folks. They created illusions. They created delusions. They created these barriers where there was no way for you to get the truth. And I'm going to be honest with you. This mother trucker right here was a pathological liar. Okay? They are a liar. They would tell you like I said, they had the gift of gab. So what am I saying with all of this? I'm saying they knew what they were doing. It almost feels, thank you, Spirit, like they put a veil over your eyes. I wouldn't be surprised if people said, well, what did they do to you? Because they must got something on you. Because I'm going to be honest with you, not Gemini, Aquarius. Who the heck is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, you were so in la la land. Girl, I don't know what they was doing to you, but you was out there. Okay? You was out there, girl. All right? You was out there. Now listen, I told you I ain't gonna judge because I know what it feels like. But all I'm saying is you was out there in the Twilight Zone, girl. Couldn't nobody tell you nothing, okay? Nobody could tell you nothing. But now you finally came out of that, whatever you in that comatose that you, and you see this person for who they are. Like, this is why you are clear. So why in the world would they want to come back now? I don't know. Didn't I just say y'all came back and y'all was clear? Okay? Here come the strength card. So this time apart did you justice. Okay? This did you justice. Because now you're in a space where you've re-tapped into your innocence, right? You have come into your knowing. You feel strong. You feel proud. You feel accomplished. You feel courageous. You feel empowered. You feel like you have been coached and developed, not by force, okay, but through practicality. Like you have grown up and come into this place where everything is wonderful. And the question is, why are they trying to come back now? So, Spirit, I got to ask the question. Why does this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn want to come back? You got the Moon card in reverse, followed by the Chariot card in reverse. We got, oh, go. What? This person is going through a major life shakeup. Do you hear me? We got the Moon card in reverse, followed by the Chariot in reverse, the World card upright, the Justice card upright, as with the Ten of Wands in reverse. Okay. Now, I asked the question, why do they want to come back? Well, here's why. Number one, with this Moon card in reverse, this tells me that they weren't even sure what they was really thinking. And to be honest with you, this person was a little delusional too. But again, remember what I said. Chaotic, dysfunctional, out of control, rambunctious. Okay? So they're now reckoning with the fact that there was a lot that you did not know about them. They're reckoning with the fact that they were dishonest and liar. Okay? Listen, we live in a spiritual system. You reap what you sow. Okay? This person is now sitting around there realizing that they have not been the most honest, the most forthcoming person in your life. They're also reckoning with the fact that they know, listen, they know that they lost one, okay? They absolutely know that they lost one.
Want my baby?
Okay? They're over there tripping. They absolutely are tripping. And I'm going to be honest with you. They can't move on because they know that they sat around wasting time. And even though they're looking back over their lives, and even though they're reflecting and assessing where and how they can go and be better, let's be clear. All of those things are true. However, what Spirit is also saying is you don't get the right to move on with your life until you reconcile with all the things that you did that was poorly in the past. You don't get the right to move on and go beat somebody else and wife somebody else and be with them until you reconcile with the fact that you screwed over all these other people. And this is why the weight is on them. This is why they're feeling under pressure. This is why they are over here feeling like time is running out and they got to make an apology because they know they feel so burdened by this.
Oh my God, my Shayla, my Shayla.
See, they're reaping what they've sowed. Okay? It was all fun and games when you was over here crying your eyeballs out. It was all fun and games when you was over here calling them and they didn't want to answer the phone. Y'all know how people do. Y'all know how people do. Phone ring. They gonna look at the phone and just watch it ring because they gonna act like they wasn't by their phone. Listen, in 2026, stop this, okay? We're gonna cut the skit in 2026. Everybody has their phone on them except for me at all times. And I'm just being honest. I don't always have my phone. I really don't. And if I do have it on me, my phone is on silent and it's on do not disturb, okay? So, and I turned off my notifications, but everybody is not like me, okay? That's just me. However, most folk, the majority, have their phone close by at all times. There is a scientific study that talks about how people's central nervous system is off kilter because people are so attached to their phones and they deal with the fear of missing out. So this mother trucker knew that you was calling them. They knew that you was texting them. They would sit up there and play these games acting like their phone signal dropped. No, they just wanted to get off the phone. And instead of them saying it, they just want to hang up the phone and act like the call dropped. And then when you call them back, they over there looking at the phone like that. Or putting their phone in autopilot. So basically what I'm saying is, Spirit is saying, until you go back and right your wrongs, you cannot move forward. Cannot and won't. Okay? You got to fix this. And you don't like now that it's being done to you, so that's why they want to come back. That's why they want to come back, because they trifling. Okay? They trifling. They done been exposed. They trifling. They broke down. They got all the excuses in the world for why they over here doing what they doing. And the reality of the matter is, congratulations, you finally have inherited the same mess that you gave me. That's called karma, boo. That's called karma. You sitting around here, you having to deal with it. They are not sleeping. They are restless. They are already chaotic and dysfunctional, but now they got emotional turmoil. Whereas before they could suppress that feeling and push it to the back, they can't do that no more. So they have a motive for why they trying to come back because they feel like if they can apologize, then maybe they can stop being in this emotional hell that they in. But the reality is, oh, Spirit, you funny. You funny. Why did I just hear the gates of hell will not prevail? They're trying to come back because they know that they are being called to deal with the things that they tried to evade and ignore all this time. And karma is coming back full swing, demanding that they fix this stuff. Okay? They are definitely coming in with this energy of trying to make sure that they fix these, and they cannot fix it at all.
What more do you want from me?
So, my point in saying all of that is this particular individual here has a lot that they need to overcome emotionally, and they're trying to project because that's their quickest way that they think that they can try to resolve their unfeeling this issues, these insecurities that they have going on. And this is why you got this communication coming. So what you gonna say when they reach out to you? I'm asking very factual questions. What are you gonna say when this person picks up the phone and call you? What is your stance when they want to apologize? What is your prefabricated speech for when they ask you out? Because all of these things are coming. They're coming. They're going to happen. And the question is, are you going to be ready to say, how you doing? Let them go on about their way? Or are you going to be in their face, getting all gullible and naive like you were before you came through this encounter and being like, hey,
Go ahead.
how you doing? You understand? This particular person needs to right their wrongs, but that's not your problem. Okay? This is not your problem. This is not your issue. You know, that's a them problem. Okay, that's a them problem. They definitely need to work on resolving their issues, and that has nothing to do. So the question then becomes, what has been said that you haven't heard yet? And now let's find out. What has been said you haven't heard yet? The Ten of Pentacles is out again, y'all. We also have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. As with the Empire, the Emperor in reverse, okay? I'm going to tell you this. You've already been focusing on the right thing. You've been focusing yourself, keep down that path. Don't give way to allow them to come in and play with you back insecure. Don't let them come into your life, taking you back to the place that you fought so hard to overcome into. You understand what I'm saying? Don't allow somebody take you back to that place that you hated to be. You're not going to be a prisoner in things of the past. This person is a coward. This person is not a leader. They have no vision, okay? They're mad at themselves. They're mad at themselves. But it's so easy for people to project their trauma and a drama onto somebody else. And I don't give a rat's to hootie if this person did go and get counseling, therapy. I don't care if they started going to church and reading the Bible. Good for you. That has literally nothing to do. Those things are Band-Aids. And if you don't have an apology with modified behaviors with actionable results that can be verified, you're just Band-Aiding. Okay? It takes time. And a lot of times when you operate from such a negative, closed heart space, you will never get to that place of being collaborative and being offering relief to somebody because it's way too much damage that you got to uproot. That don't happen in a year's time. Okay? That takes a lot of work and effort and energy. And I will tell you, this person is dysfunctional, chaotic, and out of control. So much so to the point that they don't even realize what all they need to do to really mitigate and fix things. That's why you can't prolong your healing. This is why you got to deal with things as they come. As I always say, you got to deal with your skit before your skit deals with you. And that's where they are. So let's look at these final outcomes, y'all, because I'm curious. Now that we know that they coming back, and now that we know why they coming back, the question is, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Go. Now, when we talk about final outcomes, I always say potential final outcomes because I can't predict free will. The only thing I can tell you is what the energy says, okay? And spirit can light up the path, but it's up to you to walk. This is where your free will comes into play, okay? So before I go there, I want to just ask, if spirit reveal or expose something to you, you don't need to keep it quiet. I want you to write down in the chat, I see it now, okay? I see it now. Now, while you think about that and reflect, I'm about to find out what is the final outcome, okay? Because the choice is yours. All I'm doing is talking about what's been going on here, but the choice is yours to decide how you want to co-create your next chapter and what you gonna do, right? So, go. All right, spirit. What is the final outcome? Earth sign. Final outcome. Okay, we got the Queen of Wands in reverse. We also got the King of Swords in reverse. Followed by the Sun card in reverse. Lastly, we have the Knight of Cups in reverse, okay? So, what this tells me is you're not even going to entertain this, to be honest with you. You still don't even trust this person, and as we have discussed, you are rightfully within your bounds to say, I do not trust you, I will not trust you, I have no reason to trust you, and if I cannot trust you, then what is the point of us even trying to move on? Okay? With this Sun card in reverse, this is not going to be the news that this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn wants to hear. Okay? And like I said, this person has the gift of the gab, so they will continue to try to smooth talk you, win you over. They are going to continue to try to manipulate you and to get you to think that something has changed. And while that is very much so admirable and it's cute, ow, the reality is they're unserious. Aww. Okay? They're unserious. They're not in a position to be really a genuine person that they say they are. They still got a lot of deception going on. They still have a lot of fraud going on. They still have a lot of they're just not a good person. Not when it comes to a romantic relationship. Now, if you really enjoy this person's company, I would suggest that you be their friend. And a friendship can be at your discretion. Okay, a friendship is not promising that you just gonna be jumping in and being all over the place and being all giggly and excited again. If you can't trust yourself, don't be their friend. Don't do it.
Ooh, butterfly in my stomach and vagina.
So if you can't be a friend and be a platonic friend, then don't be a friend at all. But what I am saying is, at this point, it's nothing wrong with you just offering your friendship. And if they are willing to accept your friendship, then that says that they may be truly sorry. But if they just fall off the face of the earth because you said you just a platonic friend, then you know what time it is. Okay? Now, as we wrap this up, because we've been here for a while now, I'm going to pull our soul whisper. Remember, I told you normally I pull this early on, and Spirit said, no, wait. So, Spirit, what is our soul whisper today? In closing, what is our soul whisper for today? So, really, I see clarity fell on the floor. Clarity fell on the floor. But, what is our soul whisper? Acceptance. Acceptance, ladies and gentlemen. Acceptance. Now, this is the only time you will ever see me. But I love this particular because it always encapsulates or a feeling that has been conveyed as time during the and I love to come back to acceptance. We cannot change the cards that we are dealt, just how we play the hand. Okay? We cannot change the cards that we are dealt, just how we play the hand. This is a quote from Randy Polsh. And remember, I told you this person is chaotic and out of order. Know that. So that was the cards they were. The acceptance of the cherry blossom signifies the end of one season, the harrowing beginning of another, y'all. The bloom brings you in a important reminder to appreciate each moment you're in, understanding that nothing lasts forever. Every moment is a new opportunity to changes, commit to a certain course of action, and to hold a love in your heart that for all it is. Reside deep in the moment, drinking all the feelings, the smells, the tastes, and the as each cycle draws close. Rest assured in the knowledge that you have made the best of every opportunity. When the day is over and the light begins to fade, ask yourself, did I live as today as if it were my last? And if the answer is yes, then you can be rest assured in the knowledge that you spent your time well. If the answer is no, remember that every moment brings about a new opportunity that should not be wasted. Use this knowledge not as punishment, but as an impetus to seize every sunrise with a renewed sense of optimism for what is to come. So this is about you acquiescing, recognizing, and appreciating and acknowledging. This is about you overcoming resistance, uncertainty, now and okay. And for curiosity, guess what, y'all? Y'all won't believe this. The chakras that are associated with this are not only the green part, which is about your heart chakra, but it's also the pink chakra, which is also connected to your heart. So green and pink is of the love chakras. There are many different chakras. We always focus only on 7, but people who really study metaphysics and all the things spiritual realm, you understand that there are significant, I think it's 120 chakras. They exceed above your head and below your feet and all this other stuff like that. And I don't have time to elaborate. But the beauty of a cherry blossom serves as a reminder that changing seasons and to appreciate the beauty of each cycle as its time continues to turn. Nothing remains the same ever. So in closing, y'all, what am I saying? Appreciate the season that this person had in your life, but this season is over. And it's time to move on. Okay? So tell me, y'all, what surprised you today about this reading? If you are shocked or relieved, I want you to put the closest emoji to express how you really truly feel. And if this hurts you, I don't think it should. You should really have power. But if it hurts you, I want you to let me know that too. All right? So, with that being said, listen. I want you today to decide what do you want and how do you want to move forward. All right? Let me know that down in the chat. What do you choose for yourself? All right? Now, with that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's relationship reality with me, from Mimi Lightseer. over here at PiSeas Tarot. Okay, typically I am here, but sometimes I do alter what I got going. Nevertheless, y'all, if something hit deep, I want you to drop a heart in the chat and tell me what resonated with you most. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at Lightseer. And I want you just to join our community because we are growing and we are thriving, and become a member of my official guppies because I love most. Okay, because then my babies, they've been riding me for the last 2 years that we've been doing this thing. All right. So, in closing, I want you guys to remember that everybody is fighting a battle that you cannot see. So remember to be kind, patient, and others as much as you are yourself. How people treat you is not your business. How you respond is. So make sure you leave a little bit of love everywhere you go, and I will see you.